Welcome to Mostly Put Together, where we talk about health, family, and the real life in between. Because who actually has it all figured out?
Welcome to episode 2 of Mostly Put Together. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Sarah.
What's the most unhealthy thing you've done this week?
I think I have drank chocolate milk every night this week. What's the most unhealthy thing you've done this week?
Well, since it was just Halloween, I ate all the Halloween candy.
I was wondering where all that
I
went.
know. When you get candy with the Reese's in it, it's just too hard to resist.
Yeah.
I love a sweet treat every now and then sometimes.
Yeah, we pretty much can't keep it in the house because you love sweets that much.
I know, it's a problem. Okay, what do you think, when you think about healthiness, what do you first thing comes to mind?
Nutrition and exercise. I think we're really have been good about what we've been eating and eliminating things that maybe aren't necessarily good for us. And since we put our home gym in, I feel like we've been better about getting consistent workouts in. Jordan, I know about it, but how do you think that you've changed in your 20s as far as health?
I think my food I've eaten has definitely been the center of everything because I've been playing sports my whole life, so that never really was something that changed from the transition from child to a young adult. But what I've eaten in cooking and just learning all about different foods that are healthy for me has been a huge impact in how I feel, and it's made a big difference in my life.
So how do you eat differently than you did?
A lot less processed sugar and a lot more vegetables. Got to a point where even the doctor was just like, you gotta eat more fiber, kid. And I think that was just my smack in the face moment of put the ice cream down and eat some broccoli.
Do you think that the version of healthy that we're currently living in is realistic, or do you think it's unrealistic?
I think for us it's realistic. For a lot of other people it might be daunting and really scary. I was a little worried when we started dating that you wouldn't think it would be realistic. What was your impression when I first introduced like my healthy lifestyle?
I think that I was already going in that direction, but not to the extent that you were. I always kind of considered myself healthy, but nowhere near what we're doing now.
You glad to see where we're at?
Yeah, I am. I think a lot of the things that we've cut out of our diets and how we make a lot of home cooked meals has definitely improved not only my physique, but how I feel as well.
Yeah, and I'm excited about where we're going with it and what we've talked about and cutting back more and making more at home. It's something that definitely excites me. And as you know, cooking I really enjoy.
Yeah, you're great at cooking, and I think that makes a big difference. And not eating out because we make really good meals at home.
And it's funny because like my sister, she was surprised that I cook all the meals when I guess growing up it was a big family. Kids didn't cook much. And
Yeah, your mom did a lot of that.
Yeah, if I just picked it up on the side or just watched and learned and then eventually taught myself some things along the way.
Your sister also likes to make fun of us when we call it our stomach.
Yeah, because our stomach is adapted to become one. We eat the same food, we have the same lifestyles, and essentially if something that I eat hurts my stomach, there's a really good chance it's going to hurt your stomach and vice versa.
I agree, yeah.
All right, if someone from the outside watched what we eat in a week, what do you think would surprise them the most?
I think I've actually gotten a lot of comments about our homemade granola bars that you make. Of course, I started making them and you do a better job at it, and I just have to live with that. But every time I pull them out in the break room at work, someone asks what I'm eating. To them, I think it looks like a sweet treat, but in reality, it's actually a very healthy granola bar with no preservatives.
Right, I think it was just a trial and error to get to a point of the ones we liked and a process of using ChatGPT to help with the recipes. But how did we end up making our own granola bars like we used to? I feel like we used to eat
a ton of bars from the store. Well, I actually think that was my role. I was like, you know what? I've had enough of eating all these granola bars off the shelf. I'm tired of spending hundreds of dollars on them a month. They are so expensive. And I just was looking at the ingredients and I'm like, we don't need to be consuming this much, but granola bars are so like not healthy, but easy to eat. Like it's something that like if you're busy, you can have a snack and both of us get really hangry. So I think we weren't in a position to necessarily not eat granola bars, but I knew something needed to change.
Well, and they come across as being so healthy. Like there's so many different brands of all these protein bars that it's just like they make it sound like it's like a substitute for a real meal when they have 20 grams of protein and 10 grams of fiber. And yeah, big picture, that's great. And it's a nice way to supplement in between, but it should never be a replacement.
No,
And
you should still be eating all your meats and vegetables. And I think there's a lot of education that needs to happen to kind of turn America around right now. There are so many diagnoses of type 2 diabetes just because the amount of sugar that's in food nowadays, and they can no longer call type 1 juvenile because type 2 is earlier and earlier. Like I've seen kids under the age of 15 with type 2 diabetes, which is crazy.
that's crazy. I mean, it's a crazy world of just reading the back of a nutritional label, and it took me until my mid 20s to know how to actually read a nutrition label that your first ingredient on there is the one that has the most within the product. So if
Yeah.
it's sugar, whatever you're eating is all sugar basically. Or just like a soda has like what, somewhere between 40 to 60 grams of sugar sometimes, which
Yeah,
is
I think sometimes more depending on
absolutely
the soda
crazy.
that you're consuming.
And that's something that's like I've changed. Growing up, we had soda. That was a huge part of our life. We had Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper and all these different types of sodas. But now it's, I don't know the last time I've had a soda.
Yeah, and when we do reach for a soda, we're not reaching for any of those kind of sodas. I
No.
occasionally have like a Olipop or a Poppy, but we're not
And those are
drinking.
completely different.
No,
They
exactly.
have, granted, they also have a misconception of being a healthy soda, but it's more of just an alternative, a healthier alternative to a soda if you're looking for something just not water, but you're looking to splurge a little bit on the sweet treat side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like we said, everything in moderation. We're not saying we don't do any of these bad habits, but we do definitely limit them and we make healthier choices when they're available.
No, and going back to just the like this corporate America aspect with sugar, it kills me. Like I see now they have what is it, drive through almost like fast food shops for soda.
Sodas.
That's where like that hurts my soul when I see the lines and people get excited about these fast food style soda places and there's these massive lines and it's not just their typical soda, they're pumping more sugar into it. And I get it. It
Yeah,
tastes good. It's a great taste, but when something is bright neon blue and is 64 ounces, that
you probably shouldn't be
can't be good.
consuming it.
No.
No, and I think it's hard for people because it is convenient. But you could meal prep at home and save money and time.
I mean, for sure, and just like the taste, like it's good, yeah. But there's other things like we have electrolytes with a little bit of flavor in it that it mixes things up from our traditional water that we drink every single day. So little things here and there, but
Well, and it's a hard cycle to break because sugar is addictive.
oh, it is, isn't it? Like more addictive than cocaine?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Not personally know that, but just from the statistics.
Yeah.
Because I cut out sugar when I was in college. That was a very challenging.
It doesn't sound easy. I think that's
No.
probably one of the hardest things to cut out of your diet. It's in almost everything.
Well, and I went from, like I said, eating ice cream almost every night to like flipping the script. And I was so learning on so many different foods that I never eaten before, of different ways of cooking, and going out with no sugar. That completely changes every single meal, everything I drink. Where if I had like a sweet tooth, I had to. There's options. I gotta have frozen berries. If you get some raw honey on there, yes, there's sugar in there, but it's not processed sugar.
And it tastes good.
And it tastes, yeah, super good, super sweet. And I'm glad I went through that. Granted, we don't do that now, right now. We limit our processed sugar, but
We haven't cut it out
we haven't cut it out
completely.
completely. We've talked about doing it again for short periods of time, but because it's obviously not as realistic as we would hope, but as, it's in moderation. But I'm glad I went through that. I definitely learned a lot about myself and different foods just by going through that 6 months of no processed sugar.
What are your thoughts on alcohol?
Alcohol, if you ask me now versus 5 years ago, 5 years ago we would go out a couple nights a week, and granted, I still tried to keep my drinks that I was not the sugary ones. Not a big beer drinker, but if I had a seltzer, they'd keep it to as the lower ones and not the sugary ones. But nowadays, we've cut back significantly, where it's just maybe on some special occasions or if we go out with friends. What's your thoughts on how we've been dealing with alcohol?
I think it's hard because I think there's like such a stigma around alcohol, how if you drink, you're going to have a good time. And I just feel like that's not really the case. And I don't really feel like for us that alcohol plays a big role in how well my day or evening goes. And lately, I think I've been going in the direction of like, I could never consume alcohol again. Of course, I don't think we're ever in a place where we're going to put a hard stop on anything because like we said everything in moderation's okay, but I definitely am leaning more towards not drinking alcohol, and I think with coming up on starting a family, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, how could you give up a margarita? Like, obviously, greatest drink of all time.
I don't know. I think chocolate milk still has it beat.
True. But the day after, it's not worth it. If you go out drinking all night, I mean, we're in our later 20s. Yes, we're still young, but because we don't drink as much, our body's adjusted, and we'll go and have what,
Two
two,
drink.
three drinks maybe in a
Yeah.
night, and the next day our stomachs are wrecked, and we're just like, why did we do that? We
Why did we
weren't
do that?
drunk,
No.
but it was enough to just stir up our system where we didn't feel well the next day.
Sometimes I even have one drink and I still feel like crap the next day.
Yeah, so it's just, and like we're with each other all the time. A lot of people drink to like for like a lot of social aspects. When we go out, obviously we might have a drink or so, but we're in completely different stages of life than we were like 5 years ago when I did consume a lot more alcohol
And you are single.
and I was single. So
Go hand in hand.
thank you, Sarah, for getting that taken care of. You mentioned earlier how we do have a home gym. Where was our thought process and how we got to that point?
Yeah, so I had some equipment that my dad brought up. So that made it a lot more feasible. But I think we were just in this place where we were not making time to go to the gym. And it was really not feasible to work, especially a 12-hour shift like I work and then go work out. And for you, it was like you're working 5 days a week. It's so hard to like try and get to the gym, especially during that busy period when everyone's there or wake up early. Neither of us really love working out early in the morning. So our option was either to suffer through the 5, 6 o'clock rush
And that
or
5 o'clock crowd sucks.
it does
It
suck.
sucks so bad. To have to wait for equipment, it was miserable.
And then you're not getting a good workout in. So, of course, we decided to make a small home gym, and I hope with our next house we can expand on it. I think we kind of already have that in the works, but we'll see where it goes. And I have really enjoyed our home gym. I feel like sometimes it's hard to get in there and like get effective workouts in, but once you get going, it's really nice.
Yeah, I think there's still that distraction aspect because you're at home, so you have your own personal distractions, whether it be doing laundry between your set or your phone. But I think it just takes a little more willpower to put that stuff away, which is the way I've been finding an effective workout.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's nice, like, okay, if I only have 30 minutes, maybe I'll just walk on the treadmill.
All right, don't gotta drive to the gym, beat traffic, and deal with all the weird people at the gym. Not that we're not weird, but we're actually going to the gym not for a conversation, but to actually
To
get a
work
workout.
out,
And
yeah.
those people killed me sometimes.
What workout habit that you do you feel like is most beneficial?
Something that I've incorporated over the past few years, which I think has made a significant impact because I'm not playing as much high intensity sports, so I'm still looking to get a bit of a cardio workout in, has been incline walking. Just on a treadmill, just pump that baby up to like 6 or 7 incline and put it like between a 3 and 4 and watch my heart rate. It's in that, I think it's a zone 3, where for my age and body, it's like around 140 beats per minute. Gets that burning stage, and I'll go for 30, 40 minutes, put on Netflix, and just, it goes by like that.
Yeah, I have definitely been doing a lot more of that too. Even a year or two ago, I only really lifted, and my workout routines look so much different now. I do so many, like a variety of things. Like right now, I do that Legree class, which is like Pilates on the reformer. I still lift occasionally and I do cardio. And then, of course, we walk Gus every day. So that's been really beneficial for me as well. I think when I first moved here, the only thing that kept me from getting depression, since I moved here by myself, was the fact that I got outside and walked Gus every day.
No, be real, the dog makes a difference. Like, I've had dogs growing up, but we had enough land where we didn't have to walk them. But when Gus came along and we were walking him 2, sometimes 3 times a day, it makes a difference.
It does. I think for me, I saw the biggest impact in my mental health over anything with him.
For sure. And sometimes these winters here can be a little rough, and you have to force yourself to get out and take him for a 10, 15-minute walk. It makes a difference.
It does. Even with the inversion, I feel like just getting outside and like feeling more grounded and breathing fresh air and maybe seeing like a little bit of natural sunlight makes a huge difference.
He might not agree with some of the winter choices of his walks get declined, but his high energy definitely encourages us to get out more.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it.
And he gets so excited about going for a walk.
That's what he lives for.
He does. Anytime you walk towards the door, he thinks that we're going.
He's getting excited as we speak about it now.
I feel like the management of stress plays a big role in our lives, especially with our jobs and me being in school. How can you tell when I'm stressed?
I could tell you're stressed when you start cleaning frantically as I'm trying to go to bed. Like, literally turn the TV off, and I'm like, all right, let's go up. And you're like, wait. I gotta clean this up. It's a big mess. In reality, it's not a huge mess, but
Well, I would definitely say I'm maybe a little more type A than you.
just a little bit, yeah.
And I think it's hard because, hi, buddy, because my brain, everything needs to be put away before we go to bed, and yours doesn't really work like that. I think we definitely deal with stress a lot differently. It's rare that I see that you're stressed out.
Yeah, I don't get stressed that often, and when it does, it's kind of just like take a moment and step away from everything. I mean, everybody's going to deal with it their own way, and I think I've learned to adapt with you, with your cleaning, and just accept that's your process, and we kind of just go with it. If we do a little cleaning session at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, just before bed, if it helps your peace of mind, it helps my peace of mind.
Well, and you know me, if we don't get to do our bed routine exactly right, it's going to take me forever to fall asleep.
Oh, I'm aware. It's got to be the same. It's to get you to go to bed.
Yeah, and I feel like you're very different. Like in the one of the most stressful times in your life, I literally maybe only saw you stressed once or twice. You just don't show it.
Well, and there's other factors that I do, like when I was eating and working out, that kind of help play those down. And like we're talking about sleep, I think sleep is one of the most underrated things that people don't necessarily understand about that would help with your health.
Yeah, and you have always had a very regular sleep schedule, whereas me working shift work and rotating back and forth between days and nights, I haven't always had that.
You know, and even from like in high school, I'd say even the past 15 years, my sleep schedule's basically been the same of go to bed sometime between 10 and 11, wake up somewhere around 7 and 8, definitely getting my 9 hours in. And I mean, it shows.
Yeah.
It helps. And then when you were working night shifts, flopping back and forth, I can't imagine doing something like that.
No, it's definitely challenging, and I hopefully won't be doing it for that much longer.
Yeah, and it showed a big impact on your health because sometimes you'd only be getting a couple hours of sleep, and it didn't just affect your health, it affected your activities around what you ate, when you ate.
Totally. And I think it's really bad because I'm still in that mindset that I have to eat before I go to bed because on night shift, that's when I would normally eat.
Yeah, but I'm glad we got you to a regular schedule now, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, until I go back to night shift.
But we don't talk about that. So we talked about an underrated healthy food. What do you think about what would be an overrated healthy food?
I think there's so many. I think it's really hard because there's a lot of grocery stores that are labeled as healthy that I think there's a lot of things in there that aren't. One big thing that I always think about is the naked juices. They are labeled as healthy, but they have so much sugar in them.
There's so many products out there like that. Whether it's the smoothies that are green, yeah, green. If you make your own kind of green drink at home. Doesn't taste good, but it'll definitely be healthier. Or the protein cookie we were talking about earlier. Let's be real, it's just a cookie.
It's just a cookie.
There's sugar, there's bad stuff, there's nothing healthy about it except you get a little bit of protein, but you can find that protein
Somewhere
so many
else.
different ways.
Yeah.
One jerky stick, which we eat all the time, it could be the same thing. Yes, that sweet treat's nice.
But it doesn't make a good impact on your health.
Absolutely not. But you were right, when those grocery stores like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, they're these big names, they have this stigma of being healthy.
And
But
yes, there is healthy things in there,
for sure.
but not everything on the shelf.
And we shop at Trader Joe's all the time, but we're selective of what we're shopping for. We're actually reading
The labels.
nutritional labels. So it's not just a free-for-all once we get in there. It's more just because certain things are more affordable, which has definitely made a difference. But we end up shopping between like 3 grocery stores now just to
Get everything.
get everything we need.
Yeah.
We've been talking about all these healthy habits. What's one that you want to be consistent with, but you haven't been able to?
Because of my sleep schedule being so different, I have not been consistent with the vibration plate, but I have seen such great benefits from it, like the lymphatic drainage and just getting my body up and moving. So on the days that I don't work, I try and get up, and instead of scrolling on my phone in bed, I try and scroll on my phone on the vibration plate because at least I'm doing something beneficial, even though maybe I'm participating in one of my worst habits.
Right, and I mean, it's a quick, 10 minutes? So it's a good habit to try to start. It doesn't take a long time. You can still technically be on your phone, but it's a good habit to get into.
And sometimes it just gets me out of bed. Okay, I can't scroll on my phone until I get on the vibration plate. Okay, then I'm on.
Absolutely. Got to get on it today.
I already did.
I'm lacking then.
Jordan, if you had one tip that everyone could do for the week to be healthier, what would it be?
Drink water. Like, everybody's dehydrated all the time. Even though you might not think it, there's a good chance you're dehydrated. So just drink that water throughout the day, not all at once, but throughout the day, not before bedtime. But that's my biggest thing I can think. You'll make a big impact in your just healthy life if you consistently drink enough water.
You add things to your water in the morning. Sometimes it's lemon, sometimes it's salt. What are your thoughts?
I get my minerals in the morning, so it's the Baja Gold mineral sea salt. I just put a sprinkle of that in my water, and that just helps balance everything out in the morning. Not every morning I'll do the lemon. I guess that depends on more how I'm feeling. But I will do half a squeeze of lemon juice into a tall glass of water. I think that helps get certain things moving for the morning that some people would say coffee does, but I think the lemon water helps. So give it a shot. I mean, I like it. Doesn't taste that bad. After you had a couple drinks of the lemon, it's not too bad.
It depends.
It's still not that great, but
It's doable.
It's doable. It's just a quick chug. All right, Sarah, we've talked a lot about habits. What's one habit you want to initiate into your life that you do over the next week?
I think we need to be better about what time we go to bed. I think we need to consistently be to bed before 10:30.
Yeah, I think that consistently would definitely help. I mean, everyone's got their own healthy habits. Just try to stick with it. Nobody's perfect, like we've talked about. Living a healthy lifestyle is not easy, but the first thing you got to do is just take that first step, make it a small step, and just be consistent, like drinking water, like we talked about, um, one day at a time, and to live a healthier life. And we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Don't believe what you see, and just do what you can do.
And remember that you are your only competition. Just be better than you were the day before, and eventually you'll get there. But thanks for joining us on Mostly Put Together. Next week, we'll talk a little bit about finances.